Hey, if it's Thursday, you know what that means. Don's going to sing again. Go ahead, belt out a few bars, Don. Go ahead.
Like Mussolini!
There we go. Folks, welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles, and I will guide you through the fastest hour and a half, maybe,
Ish.
the fastest moving pro wrestling podcast on the interwebs today. To my left, Dr. Don Wayne. You know him as Dr. Don Wayne, Bust a Move, the neckbeard psychologist. He will tell you what your real problem is if you engage him on Twitter. And my rule of thumb is don't engage him on Twitter. Down below, we have a special guest from the Alt Jake Takes On Twitter handle. We have Alt Jake.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Spaces.
Thanks for having me on.
And he also has his own YouTube channel. Jake, plug the YouTube channel at the top of the show here.
Yeah, no, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn, the same as the Twitter handle. I tried to combine them together and yeah, do a recorded episode every week and then the live spaces every Sunday that I then try to turn around and get it posted onto the YouTube for people to watch on there as fast as possible. So George and I are trying to do something a little bit different and have some fun with it. So check us out if you haven't. We're pretty new to this, but we're enjoying it. It's been a great time so far. Go.
And we'll give the great George Captor, your co-host on this podcast that you do. We'll give him his due. The great George Captor, everybody. He's probably lurking in the chat right now. Happy his name was mentioned. Sitting there in his boxer shorts, having a nice cold glass of champagne. I don't know. I'm just saying that, George. So, Don, what a tumultuous
First
week.
of all,
go ahead.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Larry coming out to shoot. Happy Brad Hamilton Day. It was on this day. I can't remember the year. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes.
My man got promoted to manager because he stopped a theft. So happy Brad Hamilton Day. Yesterday was actually Goodfellas Day because it was on that date where someone was told to go get their effing shine box, and he, in fact, did not get his shine box. So we're celebrating all these actual fictional plus real parts, so I'm enjoying this. I do want to thank everybody. There's a lot to get through. Thank you again, Larry. What the fuck was that on AEW last night? Let's just get it out of the way quick and say we watched it. It was awful. The numbers out there, 597. I know the chat's ready to get into it. Thank you, Black Larry. Fast Times came out in 1982. That show was unwatchable, Bottles. In 30 minutes, I texted you and said, are you watching this shit live?
And I wasn't watching it live. I was watching it delayed. I turned it on like a 9:30, quarter to 10. And I couldn't believe what I was watching to open that show. It was like a funeral home when these guys first locked up, and Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay when they first touched in the ring. It was like a funeral home. They had energy when Ospreay came out and when Swerve came out. But then again, these guys are turning into two guys who have entrance music that people react to. And it's slowly, they're just, what are these guys fighting for? We like both these guys. What are they fighting for?
I don't know what the hell that was. Jake, what did you, just real quick before we get into it, did you watch the entire show?
The entire show? No. I mean, I put it on and I tried to watch some of it, and there's parts of it where you just walked away and cooked dinner. I'm on the West Coast, so it's a little bit earlier for me when it goes on. Thank God I don't have to like watch that and then go to sleep. I was just surprised Tony didn't pay for the for Uptown Funk so they could relive that spot that went from the Indies that went viral years ago. Because that was, I mean, Tony wants to, that's all he's trying to do is relive his childhood moments, and that was a viral moment. I was surprised that part didn't happen, especially with all the rhythmic gymnastics.
Thank you, Ashton Chevalier, for $2. Fast Times. I feel old. Yes, brother. Time is relentless and it doesn't stop. However, I'm glad you brought up Tony Khan because a couple of weeks ago, Tits McGee debuted. Mira Shirakawa came out with her new theme song. And Tony Khan changed it immediately after the match. And all the neckbeards and the sickos all came out and said, oh my God, he listens to the fans. We hated it so much. Incorrect. He got copy stricken halfway through the show. Halfway through the match, they gave him a copyright and said, bitch, take it down.
A man named Malover Troy, I guess that's his real name. He replied to Tony Khan. Tony Khan, a song that I wrote was used as Mira Shirakawa's. A song that I wrote was used as Tits McGee's AEW entrance
There it is,
theme.
Tits McGee's
May 14th, without my permission. A third party sold it to AEW after removing my vocals and pressuring me to sign away all rights. I refused, and it aired anyway. Please make this right. He made it right by taking it off the air right away.
Who are these
Did you see
people
this,
that Tony
Jake?
hires? Yes,
What's
I
that?
did. And I said, who are these people that Tony hires? Because there was a third party that clearly somebody on his team worked with that I mean, his legal team and people that have been sent back to working with the Jaguars, who also have been a joke in the legal. Like, who are these people that he hires? He just hires his friends who tell him yes all the time and don't challenge anything. And that's how crap like this continues to happen. I mean, they're 5.5 years into being a company, or is it 6? However long it's been at this point, and they just keep having amateur hour mistakes.
Almost 6 years now.
Yeah. And this is completely like year one, first month out of the gate. Like, if this happens when you still have goodwill to burn, which he hasn't had in forever, like this, it's just embarrassing. It's just sad. Like, and then he was okay with taking, like, yeah, I listened to the fans. I got told over by 3 different neckbeards. Like, he made it seem like that he was okay with that because he knows how stupid it looks for what actually fucking happened. Sorry.
Right.
Well, gotta love it. Idiots get exposed every day. I enjoyed it. There is some news on The Miz. We've been talking about The Miz the last couple of weeks. He's removed all of his WWE information. The end is nigh, as they say. We can all see the end of his road is coming. He's got some other endeavors he's going to take part in. And it turns out he's going to be the host of American Gladiator. So that's been on the books for a long time now. However,
Amazon.
Yes, but what has not been known is AEW talent and some other talent is going to join him, and they will actually be the Gladiators. So far, these are the names that have been revealed to be on the show as actual Gladiators. Wardlow, Camille, OVW's J-Rod, Boogs, and Godders are joining as well. That answers the question, where the hell is Camille and where the hell is Wardlow? Oh, they're on their way out the door finding other bigger adventures to go into.
Yeah. They're going to have more people watching them than they would on Dynamite.
Boogs is Rick Boogs. He's Eric Bugenhagen on Instagram and on Twitter. But Rick Boogs was the name he was under that they used him for when he was a tag teaming with Shinsuke Nakamura. But now you know where Camille's been. You know where Wardlow's been. But what have they been doing for the last 6 months? That's all I want to know. Wardlow has been seen since 2024.
MIA. Like just early. He's on a milk carton. Go ahead, El. I'm sorry.
No, I said early in 2024. No, you're good. I was just there with you. It's like when was the last time anybody's seen him?
Right. Warrior J, WR 199. Don't Ospreay look like Morrissey Dorsey with that hair? Yes, I got to admit that the hair didn't look too bad last night. He actually got a perm. He got something done to it. He got a cut. He got something done to it. Not the greatest, but not the greatest.
It worked. It looks awful. I'm going to agree with Warrior JBR. It does look awful. But this is kind of a big deal because I haven't looked up Wardlow or Camille's information on social media. And Jake, I don't know if you have not, or either. I'm going to give this to you, but it makes sense why the Miz removed the WWE name. They gave him all this money. I'm not going to associate AEW talent who may still have their information up and bring down the name of WWE. They gave me all this money. I don't want to make this look like a cross promotion type thing. I don't think it has anything to do with him, disrespecting or getting away from WWE as much as I'm not going to take your name with this shit.
Well, I never thought of it that way. That's great. That's a really good way of thinking, because Miz is smart. Like, there's a reason he's been employed by the WWE for over 20 years or close to it at this point, and he's great at stuff like this. That's why he had Miz and Mrs., the USA reality
for a long time.
Right. And like, he's done red carpet stuff, or why he was a good host for WrestleMania. Like, he's great at stuff like this. And even if his full-time contract runs out, which, okay, like apparently that might happen in July. Okay, great. He'll sign up whatever, like a Legends deal with some per appearances on it, or some sort of, deal where he's associated with him. Kind of like how John Cena always was, where he would make his movies, but, he would always be able to promote him and be part of it. And, I'm sure we'll see American Gladiator ads on the, in the ring somewhere with it. There's no way he's going to be fully disassociated with it. So that makes a lot of sense of just, hey, I'm over here doing my Mike Mizanin hosting American Gladiators for the next 6 months and not going to sully our good name with the dirt of AEW.
Right. Johnny, do you think he keeps the name The Miz, or do you think he goes with his real name? I think he keeps The Miz.
I think he'll be Mike the Miz Mizanin.
Bingo.
I think that's what he'll be known as on the show. To get his last name out there, get the first name out there. I don't think he scrubbed AEW off his Twitter account because he didn't want to associate WWE's good name with AEW. WWE.
Yeah, you said AEW.
What'd I just say?
You said you don't think he scrubbed AEW off his social media, but I know what you meant.
I don't think he scrubbed WWE off his social media because he didn't want to associate with AEW, have them both mixed or anything like. Surprised the Gladiators didn't choose Adam Cole. Gil, where they go with Gil?
What
For
to like
one
shoot
night?
out of the tennis ball thing? They would put him in the what was it in that?
No, he
use
would
him
be
as
a javelin.
There
He
it
would be
is.
the javelin in one of the
He'd
events.
be the
I
joust.
would
He's
pay
what they're
money.
jousting with.
I would pay money to watch people shoot the fucking tennis balls at Adam Cole. I would pay money. Thank you, Gil.
I'd pay money to see Adam Cole get shot out of a cannon on American Gladiators.
That's what I was thinking. Put him in it and shoot him out like the tennis ball.
I think that he just he did that because he wants to start breaking away. Despite what he says, he wants to start breaking away and having the name Mike the Miz Mizanin out there as a brand, as a name, and where he could separate himself slowly from WWE. That's what I think.
You can't know if you're using the name The Miz. That's their property. They own that property.
They own John Cena, but he's John Cena.
But they
all
own
his
his
movies.
name rights. But that's actually his name. So it's got.
I understand.
They've got a special deal. I don't know what kind of special they got. I just want to get that real quick. The other big news. This one hit me like a ton of bricks. The Undertaker recently had heart surgery. The day after WrestleMania 41, they went to the hospital at 6 a.m. It was planned. I don't know what it was. They didn't go into detail. I didn't see that, but he says the health issue came to light after they had a routine heart scan back in January. So
he could have had a pacemaker put in. Flair's got one. Triple H has one. Could have had a pacemaker put in. For that matter, he could have got the pig valve thing that Schwarzenegger got. A couple other guys did who were big on steroids. Could have had that happen.
Yeah. There's a lot of different things it could have been. I'm just glad that since it was announced now, we know he's okay. Like, thank God. That's no matter what it is, it's always going to be scary to have heart surgery. There's certain things.
I agree.
Surgery on that. Right. Yeah. But I had no idea. Like, literally, I found out when we were prepping for the show here. So hit me too. Yeah. He's as little bit about me personally. I turned 43 next week, and Undertaker was the reason I got into wrestling as a kid. Like 91, 92, I could remember as a kid with my neighbor across the street, his parents would order the pay-per-view because his mom was the biggest wrestling fan. And Undertaker just clicked with me as a kid, and I've been a fan to this day. So he's always been my personal favorite wrestler.
I still remember the day he beat Hulk Hogan. I was crushed as a child. I was like, God damn, this son of a bitch I wasn't a child at the time, but I was like, God, he just beat Hogan? Really? And then they had a Tuesday in Texas. So swerve, bro. Ric Flair's coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuesday in Texas was great. I love that little pop-up show they did.
Make a little bit of money. So again, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. Super chat's open. You got something you want to say, let us know about it. Keep going, Bottles. I know you've got some news you want to get into. There's a new tag team I hear ready to launch in the WWE.
If you've wondered why you're seeing a lot of Maxine Dupree and Natty Neidhart watching monitors backstage, interacting with other talent. They're going to be a new tag team called the Dungeon Dolls. Apparently, Natty's been training Maxine Dupree up in the Heart Dungeon and also at her house with TJ. You've seen clips of those two training the Street Profits, Jade Cargill, several other people. A lot of different
Ricky Saints. Oh, yeah, tons.
Ricky Saints, remember that?
Yeah.
He was still under AEW contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's training with the Street Profits and Jade Cargill. So look for that in the immediate future. They're probably going to do this and debut them at Evolution.
Well, they were on TV this Monday night. They were seated at a segment backstage. This has been ongoing. They've sort of been around. So
last few weeks.
I don't think it's coming out of nowhere. I don't know where this is going to go. But right now, and I'm going to say it again, the women's tag team division sucks in the WWE. I just don't feel like they need to have it. I feel like they can do away with it. I don't want it anymore. So please do something else. Do anything else. I feel like right now it's a prop for Liv Morgan to just run around with, so she's got some 10 on her belly.
You read my mind. You read my mind. But if you take the tag team belts away, Liv won't have a belt. Why you want to be that mean? I can hear them all now saying that online watching this show. Don hates everybody. Don hates everybody.
I mean, if they could make some compelling storylines with it, it would work. But yeah, that's been the issue. Is there's just never, and then it was cursed for it felt like 2 years. Where it just like no matter what happened, there people get injured, and I would like it to be. I would like the storylines to make sense and because they're not going to go away. I mean, even if they did away with that, there's still going to be something with the storyline. So they need to do something with it, but there's got to be more investment to the storylines. And I mean, Natty's always great, but she's there usually to take the pin. So
Oh, yeah.
You want to know what I
absolutely.
think of the women's tag team belts? It reminds me of a movie I saw as a child called Old Yeller. Somebody take that son of a bitch out behind the shed and shoot it. It's gone rabid.
Yeah.
You're not saving it anymore. Get rid of it.
I understand. I get it.
You're a hateful
yeah.
man, Don. You're a hateful man.
It's-
Don't
Can I
agree
put
with him
that-
if you don't agree with him.
He's an honest man. No, I didn't say I agree with him. I just get where he's coming from with it. And I can't defend it because there hasn't been enough compelling stuff with it. It felt like there could have been with the Jade, Naomi, Bianca stuff, but that just never clicked. Never really worked.
Look at Gil out here. Gil getting the Jimmy C81 heat magnets already. Y'all realize Jimmy C may hear this. He may, but he knows we love Liv Morgan. I'm not saying she can't have a piece of tin around her waist. I'm just saying get that shit off her waist. Bottles, what else you got? Thank you again, Gil, for the $1.99 review. I can buy me a cheeseburger.
Man, I was in high school. You could buy like 3 cheeseburgers for that price.
No shit. Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Noted AEW shill Andrew Zarian, a member of the team of the professional wrestling analysts over at WrestlingObserver.com, has
And he's
come out and
Fightful
said
too. He's got both under his
got
Twitter profile.
He's smearing all kinds of shit all over his bed. They're not getting 500,000 live viewers on Max, Zarian said on Twitter. That isn't a factual number. People on the sales side will be doing backflips if that was the case. He said that on June 10th at not quite 12 noon. So when the big controversy was floating around during the Warner Brothers Discovery investor call that happened this
week. We should talk about that now because
we'll talk about that right now. David Zaslav was called on the carpet. He came out and said, thanks for torpedoing my raise, everybody. And he wanted a $52 million raise. Can you imagine the balls on that guy, the sack on that guy, that won $52 million for piloting a failed company that's just failing in ratings, in box office, you name it. They're failing. And they decided they're going to split the company in 2 parts. Streaming and movie studio is going to be over here.
Yep.
Zaslav's going to be in charge of this. And over here, you got the poor schmuck who's the CFO. TV and sports. And that's going to be handled by the chief financial officer, where all that debt, that $40 billion.
$34 billion.
That's what it is now.
$34 billion is going to that point of the company.
Well, I will say one thing, Don. When they took it over from AT&T, when they bought it off of AT&T, they assumed $40 billion in debt from AT&T because AT&T had no idea how to do it. They got $6 billion out after all these years. It's not looking good for Warner Brothers Discovery. But apparently, this move that they're making allows the debt to be shuttled off to the TV side, where they can just not pay for any original content and use the house content that they had. You know, Don, Jake, if you remember back in the day, Jake's not as old as we are, but you remember back in the day, the Superstation TBS.
Yes.
What did Ted Turner base that TV station on to make all his billions? He based
Andy
it on
Griffith's show,
old
Braves
sitcom
baseball.
reruns, all drama reruns from the 60s and the 70s.
Yep. 70s,
And he had Braves baseball.
Yep.
Did he have
old
basketball?
movies. That's why he bought the actual Turner Classic Movie Library. That's how they came to a custom.
Right. That's how that was just,
Right.
Exactly. That's the whole reason they did that. Yep.
Did he have any football? Basketball back then?
No, he did not. It was just Braves baseball.
Yeah, I don't remember that because I live in Arizona, and I can remember the Braves were always the Braves, and then the Cubs, the WGN. Those were the 2.
WGN was the Cubs and the Bulls.
We didn't get a baseball team till '98 when I was 17. So yeah, like that was most people here were fans of those 2 teams because of those stations.
So the basketball component came in under the aegis of AOL, right?
Yes. Well, they brought in, that was TNT, not TBS. That was the entire point they made. TNT was going to be the actual sports station. That's the channel that had all their football games. And they got, was it Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football? They had that for a time. They got big on the basketball. That's what took off. But needless to say, here's the issue. AEW is going to fall under that sports umbrella at a $34 billion company that's in debt. I'm not saying they're in danger of being canceled, but when they start looking around the room, and I'm going to say this now because the contract is like $150 million to $180 million, depending on how much money they make off. Yeah. But again,
Right.
that's not a lot of money for 52 weeks of live content twice a week. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lot of money to be paying for that. So I don't think they're in danger, but this company's in real trouble.
Have you heard what Meltzer's saying now?
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, there was also a rumor saying that
this has got something to do with this.
Okay, well, can I just finish this real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, pal. Go ahead. Sorry.
Rumor has it that the real number that's watching AEW, you've got to move a decimal the other way. It's 50,000 people that's watching all AEW content is the rumor floating around right now that's been revealed. Not AEW Wednesday nights, all of their content, period. So take that with however you want.
Wolf.
Well, you can take that with a grain of salt because no one's offered up a clip of Zaslav saying that. I don't believe Zaslav would say that in a investor's call. I like to know the investor would say, you know, it's great about splitting up the movie studio, the streaming, and the TV and the sports on one side, but how about those AEW numbers? How are they doing? Who's going to say that? By the way, I don't
even know about it.
I got 500,000 shares I bought in this company, and it's falling to shit. How about those AEW numbers? Speaking of falling to shit, nobody's saying that. Nobody asked how the AEW numbers were. No one asked anybody in that conference call.
Yes, they did. They were the IWC. They were all texting it frantically. What about AEW? My mom said I gotta ask.
Yelling from their basements.
Exactly.
Screaming from their basements.
Wow, the meatloaf!
Yes.
What did
the pizza rolls? The Tostitos.
I was just going to say that. More pizza rolls.
You know, that's it. They're not even sophisticated enough for fucking meatloaf.
I'm not coming down there if you're doing that thing again. I'm not doing it now, Mom.
It's not Wednesday night. What did crazy ass Dave say?
Yeah,
Dave said that they're moving Collision around because they're thinking about maybe putting Collision on a Thursday night. They're seeing how it does with various nights of the week. Can you believe this man is actually saying this?
No, I can believe this. No, I can believe it. I can't.
Do you know what's going to be? It's going to be what we said at the end of last year. They're doing away with Collision altogether. We said they were going to get rid of Rampage. And what did they do at the end of the year last year?
They got rid of it.
They got rid of Rampage. And I said Collision is going to be gone by the end of this year. I think it's going to be a little sooner than that. They wanted a 3-hour Dynamite. They talked about that. Tony Khan even said Warner Brothers Discovery execs have talked to him about just putting on a 3-hour Dynamite. And I think the 3rd-hour Dynamite is going to be Collision. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be underneath the Dynamite umbrella.
It'll kill the ratings, Bottles.
It's going to kill the ratings.
That's what I was going to say, Don. I'm like this. If the 4 hours the last 2 weeks were a test run, that they needed more crash test dummies. This is bad.
So here's the thing. I wouldn't even mind a Thursday night show, to be quite honest, because there's really the only thing they have to worry about is come football season where they're going to eat shit on that because of Thursday night football. But other than that, they're really not competing with much on Thursday nights outside of the scope of other shows. There's no wrestling shows you got to worry about. Well,
for now,
TNA's on that night, but I guess it's on in certain areas.
They're on weird channels and different things. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if they work their way into a TV deal as soon as they can, because
it feels like it's coming.
Yeah, well, and they're on their own company's network in the US. So it's not like this deal ends in February 26th. Like, it doesn't matter. They could, if the CW made them an offer and being like, hey, let's get this on Thursday night so we could cross promote the shows since you're kind of running the same characters on both shows. Let's do that now. Then they would be in serious competition. And I think they would lose, because I think TNA would, especially with the NXT talent, would be more exciting. I watch it more often. At least I enjoy it when I watch it.
Mm-hmm. What are you watching on Access TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you have direct TV, that's the only way. Yeah, they have it through that, and so that works. But it's like, I know like if you have like pretty much every other cable company in the US, you have to have it on a specific package or something weird. They need to get off of that. I know that doesn't cost them anything, so that's like if the CW offers them anything, and the CW, we know they tried to do ROH, and Tony shat on that. They were gonna do NWA, and Dr. James Mitchell snorted on that. I won't say shat. We'll say snorted that one away.
Oh my!
And so they want to do it. They want the deal. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think that would be the big, not big surprise for me, but I would think that would be a cool announcement sometime this summer for the fall. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the CW needing it.
Hold on, Warrior JWR's in here.
Oh, nice.
Warrior JWR says, hey, have you guys heard or read about Beyond Nitro by Guy Evans? Russo wanted to have Mongo come out on Nitro and say he hit Austin in 2000. I have not gotten the book yet. I'm waiting on it to come out on audio book. I'm a big Guy Evans fan. We interviewed him. Actually, this channel, we interviewed Guy Evans 2 years ago this August, believe it or not. We had him on here. We talked about the original Nitro book. I had to read it a second time to refresh my memory on it. It's a book that if you love the detail of professional wrestling, Guy Evans is the guy to go to. I can't put him over enough. He was a great guy to have on the show. He was really courteous to us. He said he was like, I'll give you half an hour or so. The show went on for almost an hour. And I felt bad. I was like, we got to push him out of here. The guy's got to go do something because we had some technical issues, but I haven't read it yet. Warrior JWR, I want to thank you for the $4.99. We are going to get to him. I still got his number in my phone. I never text him, but I kept that number just in case that day came up again.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've read the original one, but years ago. So yeah, that's it.
Yes,
it's a good book. I would on the second one.
Did you hear what TNA did last night while Dynamite was on?
No.
They put their latest pay-per-view Against All Odds.
Oh, on YouTube.
They ran it free on YouTube, and if you have the TNA app, you could watch it free on the app. They go up against Dynamite.
I love it. I love
it. I
it.
wonder if that actually hurt. You think that actually hurt Dynamite?
No, nobody gives a shit. No one cares.
No one cares about what? TNA?
Anything that happened last night. No one cares what happened last night.
I'm talking about somebody put a free pay-per-view.
I know what you're saying.
A couple weeks
that's
ago
not going
on YouTube.
That's not going to drive anybody out.
It wasn't even a couple weeks ago. It was on Friday. It was last Friday.
The neck beards are going to watch their show and they don't care. But
yeah,
we got to talk about some other shows. We got to talk about Money in the Bank. There's been a lot of wrestling that's happened here in the past week. We got to start getting through this.
Let's talk about Money in the Bank. Or you want to let's talk AAA Super Show first because that happened first.
Right. Okay, that did happen first, chronological order.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the surprise of the weekend with how just successful it was. I have yet to see anybody in good faith have bad things to say about it. That show was fun.
Well,
everybody seemed to
like
it.
A star.
Yeah,
the Iguana guy's a star. I don't know shit about that Iguana guy, but motherfuckers will not shut up about him now.
They ran a commercial.
T-shirt sold the fuck out.
They ran a thing for him on Raw.
Yeah.
Mr. Iguana.
So here's the thing. I was at Monday Night Raw here in Phoenix, and they ran.
Wait, save it. I can't wait to hear from it. I can't wait to hear.
We gotta wait till we get the Raw. Wait till we get the Raw. When do we get the Raw? I can't wait to hear about this.
Little teaser for everybody. Keep them tuned in.
Which we're glad to have Alt Jake on because he ended up going to Raw at the last minute, and I can't wait to hear some of the crowd reaction. This show, I'm not a big YouTube guy. I'm not big on setting away time for a show that I don't normally watch, right? But I came home from golf Saturday, little fried, had a few beers. I said, I guess I'm going to put on this show and lay in the bed and see what happens.
You were in the right.
I was entertained by the show that I saw. It wasn't your typical WWE show. I was entertained by what I saw. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't hokey. I enjoyed the show for what it was. I knew it wasn't going to get a typical WWE show, but I knew I was probably going to see a lot of luchador type stuff. They do more bullshit in AEW. They did that entire show that I watched from the 45 minutes to an hour. They do more bullshit gymnastics in AEW. I thought the luchadors were supposed to be the guys, the kings of this shit.
Right.
They had serious matches for the most part for what I saw.
It was presented so well. Because it wasn't your typical WWE show, but also wasn't your typical, I don't watch a lot of AAA, but when you see those highlights or lowlights sometimes of it where there are a lot of botches and it's presented, almost like, public access. So it wasn't that either. It was a nice middle ground. Like they presented it perfectly. I thought I was shocked with how good it was and how entertained I was. I put it on because it's on at noon here in Phoenix. So I knew I was going to watch it, but I didn't expect to sit down and watch. Like I was cleaning my living room, but once I'm just standing there with myself, like, oh shit, yeah, okay. Same thing, because I was expecting botches. I always talk about Cornette. He always talks about when people used to do you're trying a difficulty of 10 with an execution of 5. Reverse those. And I felt like they knew that going in, where, hey, we're going to try our stuff that's like a 6, 7, 8 difficulty, and we're going to nail it versus trying those stupid stuff that you see at AEW where we run on the ropes. It takes you 35 seconds, and 4 guys got to stand there. Wait, is he coming? Oh, not yet.
Wait. Catch him.
It's like Braveheart. Hold, motherfucker.
Right.
It's a wrestling match.
Bottles, what did you think from what you saw? Because like I said, I only caught the last hour, but I liked it.
What I saw, they made a couple stars. They made Lola Vice a star. They made Stephanie Vacker a star. Again, more so than what she was before. She's more over now than when she first came in to WWE. And Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana. Apparently, they saw something in Mr. Iguana, the gimmick, the whole 9 yards. It was hilarious. I just said, what are we seeing here? This is like an Orange Cassidy kind of gimmick.
I
I can
it's
see
a combination of Gold Dust and Santino, but like the best of both worlds put into one.
Yes.
What how I felt and how they presented it, at least.
If you have Mr. Iguana facing guys who are 150 pounds bigger than he is, and he's beating them, then you're in Orange Cassidy territory. Right?
Yes.
But if it's a competitive match with a guy his same size, that I can get behind.
I can buy into it
for the kids. It's a component for the kids.
That's why he's part of a team too. It wasn't even a singles match. He was part of a team. So you're not just solely focused on him, which again helps his presentation. You don't get sick of it. He wasn't out there long enough to get sick of.
Right. Exactly. He was in a team. I mean, let's reserve our judgment of Mr. Iguana for a singles match when he's facing Akira Tozawa on Raw and see what happens. Because he's not going to NXT. He's going to Raw.
But there's one other part about that show that really makes me happy. And then I want to move on to Money in the Bank because we got so much to get through.
Yes.
Dave Meltzer lost his fucking mind at the viewership of the YouTube show. He came completely unglued. 450,000 people on a Saturday afternoon were watching this show live, and you could hear the angst in his voice as he tweeted, "They've never done this before. This is the first time. How many times can they keep doing this? This is bullshit." And
mind you, it was early in his day. He's in Pacific time, so it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's melting down.
Yeah, that was him, dude, live on air.
Live L in Meltzer was capitalized. But oh man,
it really burned his ass when the final tally was 4 million watched it in the English stream, 3 million watched it in the Espanol stream,
and it's still growing.
Thank you, Don. That was exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, and as far as I can tell, it continues to grow. People are like, "Oh shit, this is entertaining," or they hear about it. We're like, "Oh, was it that?" Because I had 2 friends who didn't watch it and both texted me about it. Like, I'm gonna start Money in the Bank, but should I watch Worlds Collide? I'm like, if you have time, it's a lot of fun. And then they were even tie it in well with Dominic, putting him where he could come out and talk shit at the Worlds Collide, and then they made that into a match at Money in the Bank. It was just perfect. It was a perfect tie-in show. Like that was so smart.
Absolutely.
By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications, the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Super chat's open if you got something to say. Let's talk Money in the Bank. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. The Money's match was the women. Naomi won, and she's earned it. I was kind of surprised that she won, given all the stars.
Right move.
I feel like there was only a couple of ways you couldn't go in this match. That was a way I feel like you can go because I feel like she's still got more of a story to tell. I feel like she can have matches for the briefcase. I'm not even sure she's gonna be the one that cashes it in. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that is. I'm not mad at the outcome. Jake, what do you think of the outcome overall?
100% agree. I kept seeing people saying they were going to put it on either Roxanne or Julia or Stephanie. And I was like, it's too early for them. Like, yes, they're talented enough and that could work. They don't need that push yet. So for me, it was basically between Rhea and Naomi in my mind. What I mean? I thought Rhea made sense too, but this also makes a lot of sense because Naomi can just kind of tease it for a while. Because I feel like Seth is probably going to cash it in before the end of the summer. It would seem like, but I'm not. I don't think. I don't
think she's going to be around. I don't think she's going to be around much longer. She's talking about wanting to have babies with Big Jim.
Which is why I think she could be the first ever. Because they kept stressing that it was 100% success rate for the women. I could see her attempting to cash it in, and then maybe Jade costs her to help get Jade over more or something, so that she doesn't cash it in, or she cashed it in but unsuccessfully. I'm not quite sure, but I think at least there's story there. There's a few different avenues they can go, which is Triple H's biggest strength as a booker is he doesn't pigeonhole himself like Vince used to, where it's like, oh shit, this person got injured, we don't have any idea what to do, or this storyline isn't working, well, we're just gonna run it into the ground anyway. Triple H is like, I mean, there's got this idea, that idea.
There's a million ways they can go with this. If we're having technical issues, let us know. I'm getting some feedback here. There might be some technical issues. I don't know. I know StreamYard's had some issues today, so I want to interject that real quick. I did want to talk about the Intercontinental Championship with Dirty Dom, with Liv Morgan facing off against Octagon Jr. We all knew where this was going to go. I'm not going to get into this. The right guy won. Dominic Mysterio won. It is what it is. That's what it should have been. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, this one sort of was where we were like, if you're going to pull the trigger on Becky winning this was the one so that they can have their final fallout match at SummerSlam, I feel. Mm-hmm. And this was the right call. Becky won. Yeah. She should have won. The ending of it, I really enjoyed her peeling the shit out of it, then getting her ass kicked at the very end. Becky Lynch is a heel. And scene. I loved every minute of it.
She knows how to do it, pal. She knows how to do it.
Yeah, and this is done so much better than that. The big time Beck stuff just was kind of silly with it. This is real. This is like really her as a heel. Yeah, no, I definitely enjoy it.
Then we had this other part of this. The men's Money in the Bank match. Seth Rollins won. I was hoping CM Punk would come in and cost him the match. Seth Rollins won. It was kind of cookie cutter. Not really my favorite. I'll get to this, but I'm not going to get into this too deep. There's not a whole lot to kick over.
This dovetails into Raw.
Yeah, it does.
So when we talk about Raw, we got to bring this up.
We got to bring this up. Yes.
Yes. And the main event.
Go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say the only thing for me with Seth was as long as the two if Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed got involved, Seth couldn't lose. Then that just kind of kills that faction to me. So the moment they got involved, it's like, okay, Seth has to win. But that was literally my only comment on that whole match.
So then we get the main event: Jey Uso and Logan Paul and Cena and who was the other guy? Cody Rhodes were in the match, right?
Who's the other?
This could have gone any way. No one gave a shit. The biggest thing about this was Ron Killings returned and cost Cena the match and revealed himself, and the IWC imploded live in real time. People's fucking heads exploded. What is happening? We made a difference. Way to go, IWC. Shut up. Everybody got worked. Every one of us got worked. It was a work. What R-Truth said was, I got released. When he came back, he's now Ron Killings. R-Truth is over. He is the truth. Ron Killings. It was a work. Bottles, that's my opinion.
Wow.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Tell Sean Ross Sapp that.
Derp.
Yep. Yeah. It's
the R-Truth tweet is accurate, not a hack or an accident. He'll be leaving WWE when his deal expires.
So then it wasn't accurate because released and deal expiring are two different fucking things.
Exactly. We had this big debate on this show a week ago, which, by the way, it was a work because R-Truth is gone. Ron Killings is now here. So it was a work shoot, if you want to look at it that way. Either way, everybody went crazy. And now the IWC is convinced they're why Ron Killings is back on TV. Life, folks. Get real with yourself. This is $1 billion company. Do you think they're going to bring this guy back because a bunch of you puppet punching, basement dwelling Cheeto sexuals are crying?
Sexual, yes. The smile on Triple H's face, that smirk at the press conference was everything. And I fully do believe that, yes, his contract did expire. And then he signed, kind of like I was saying with Miz, a Legends deal with a per appearance or some sort of specific deal, basically where it's like, yeah, he's with the company for the rest of his life. He's going to be an ambassador. He can do what he wants. There can be appearances. He can, whatever it is. And yes, they knew that was coming up and they used it to their advantage and we all got worked. And how awesome is that? That's wrestling was supposed to.
Perfect.
The best part of the Triple H regime is that they're surprising us with stuff. We didn't know Punk was coming out. We didn't know this was going to happen. If they had just told us that morning of the Royal Rumble that Alexa Bliss wasn't coming, they got nothing for her. It's not going to work out. Blah, 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 blah. Boom, she shows up. I love it.
What about the Triple H saying to Ron Killings, well, Ron, we'll pay you the same thing we're paying you now. Maybe we'll give you like $50,000 more, but you're going to have to make more appearances. How about one final run? What do you mean?
Boom.
One final run. Main event scene. What if you actually get a belt? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I got work because I thought he was going to go do some stuff in TNA and go down there. Maybe kind of be funny. He still could. If he does go to TNA, I hope he plays. Well, not now though, because now he's Ron Killings. If he was still doing the truth funny stuff, it would have been cool if he went there and thought it was the same promotion it was from when he left, and he's looking for all the people he used to wrestle against. But yeah, no, this was done so well.
I want to say this. I am so glad that kayfabe is back in the WWE and that they are doing everything they can to preserve what little bit of it that they can. The little bit of surprise that they can keep fans guessing is what brings you back, is the unknown. Oh shit, that really just happened.
Yes.
I almost got I got worked. I could have missed that. Thank God. The other part of this was Logan Paul had a contusion on his shin after the match, so he's been dealing with a little bit of a beat up issue right now. So we'll see where that goes. I think he'll be fine, but that's what he said it was from too. He moonsaulted and contused the shit out of himself.
Yeah. Did you know what he told Cena? He told Cena when they were going over the match. He says, "I'm going to do a moonsault onto you on the announce table." Cena goes, "You'll never make that jump." "Oh, I can make that jump." "You'll never make that jump. You will never make that jump. I'm just telling you right now. Don't even try. You're going to kill yourself. You're never going to make that jump." And he made the jump. And Cena said to him, "By God, you made that jump."
Yeah. It's like a Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Fuck me, he cleared it. Like, hey, good for him. No, as much as he's a douchebag and like you're supposed to hate him, he's so good at this. That fucking whole spot with the drone where he held it and he got super.
Yes, that was a splash.
Awesome. Oh my! And that was his idea, and he's smart enough to realize I've set it up enough now so now it's time for me to take a move with it. Oh, it was brilliant. Right. It was done so damn well.
He's the king of social media. He knows how to get a viral moment. This thing went viral.
Of course.
Tip of the cap. Like I said, this wasn't, just overall, this is never going to be my favorite Money in the Bank match. It just wasn't. Right. The card wasn't good enough from start to finish. But for shock value, right up there, all-time shock value at the very end. So I want to give my tip of the cap to that. Now on to Raw.
Yeah.
On to Raw, where Alt Jake.
Yeah.
Let me know you said you got a ticket at the last minute. You decided to go.
Yeah.
You ended up getting a really good seat. I've got to ask. How happier you went now?
Oh my God. The thing was the show built up very well. And so it's kind of interesting. Normally I go with one of my good friends, but he had some stuff this weekend that like he couldn't make it to the day. It just wasn't going to work. And so I knew I was going to go by myself because my wife isn't into wrestling at all. And I'm not going to make her go. We kind of like it. She's got her things. I've got my things. We got a lot of stuff we watch together, but we got our things. So I knew I was going alone, but I live literally like 4 light rail stops from the arena. So like it was an easy way for me to get there. I could have fun. But what I did was I kind of waited. I thought, let them set the arena up and then see if they open up any tickets. And that's exactly what I got because you could see the pictures. I posted videos on my YouTube and I posted a review completely of the show with pictures that I took. Actually, the review picture has the entire crowd because they lit up the crowd to show you that it was a complete sellout. But I was up like I was in the lower level, but directly up from the side of the entrance. So I couldn't see that front Tron, but you could tell it was a minimalized set because they had the entire upper bowl open. Even like people that would have an obstructed view of the entrance, you could see the ring. So yeah, I got the ticket. It was
did they have open? Do you know like how many they had? How many?
I know they said they sold. I know they said 14,600. I think they said,
and that sounds about right.
Yeah, well, the thing was, I was at SmackDown in the same arena on January 3rd, and it was like 11,000, and it felt like a sellout, but they had the bigger setup and the bigger stage. They definitely minimalized it because they knew they were packing them in there. But because I got that last minute just open ticket, it was $116 for that. That wasn't, I didn't overspend, I didn't break the bank, and God damn it, I had a great fucking time. It was awesome.
So let's get into this because I want to ask you a few things about this because John Cena comes out and the fans are booing the shit out of him. So I've got to ask you. When he came out, we don't have to go into detail. Is it that loud in the arena when he comes out that they're booing him that hard?
Well, the thing is, I feel like they might be turning upward. They're getting the boos from the different speakers because it is a mixed reaction completely. There are people cheering.
Right, no, I'm not saying it's a complete boo, but you can hear the cheers.
Everybody is reacting. Yes, like the moment.
That's what I wanted to know.
They also are putting it in the right spot because at the show, you have your like the dark match, the speed match before the show with Dragon Lee, then he won. Like that's fine, but when you're going live and like they show the city first and people get excited, and then the moment his music hits, everybody stands up. Like it's
just a huge mixed reaction.
Perfect, right? It is. And then he starts cutting his promo, and the moment he says he needs competition, everybody I was around starts chanting for CM Punk, and then he comes out, and it's the same.
Now, hold on before you get into this.
Yeah.
When he comes out, the last few weeks he's come out because Bottles and I have talked about this, and we're so glad you're here because he and I have the same opinion on this. It sounds like you can hear the first couple of notes of the song and the crowd goes fucking insane and you can't hear anything through your TV anymore until he comes out. Then it's a huge pop. Is it like that live? Because I haven't been to a show in years, or is it completely fake and they're pumping in music?
It is like that 100% live. I'll send you the video. I'll send you the video in a DM. The only reason I haven't posted the video on my YouTube is because it's a licensed song. Like I posted videos with their entrance music because I know they'll be cool with that. I just like I'll get dinged by living because Also, too, I'm singing during it because you can't not, but everybody is singing the word. And I mean, it's an easy enough song to sing, but everybody knows every lyric, to the point. I mean, I guess unless you're Britt Baker asking, what's Mussolini? Sorry, every time I hear that song, I think back to that video that you guys remember. Yeah. So I love you guys. Yeah. No, but everybody starts singing. Yeah, exactly. And the three guys go, oh shit, are you kidding me? What did she just say?
This dumb bitch just speaks.
Yes. Oh God. I feel like that's when Punk knew.
Is Mussolini a pasta dish?
That was the moment Punk knew, I'm out of here. This isn't a real company. Right. I can't deal with you people.
Right.
So Bottles, that answers the question. It's live. It really, he's that over. He's that over. Bottles, I got to ask you. You saw the promo. A+, B, what did you think? I gave it an A+.
A+ promo all the way. Fantastic. He hasn't lost a step.
Nope.
When he's in the ring with a microphone and he's facing off with somebody on the mic, he's fantastic. Fantastic. Even now when the bell rings, he's something to see in the ring. And what is he, 45?
40-something.
47 or 48.
Yeah, he's
that old? Holy shit.
I think he's that old. Chat, let us know. By the way, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. How old is CM Punk? So I thought this was great, Models. I was really impressed with all this. I was impressed with Cena just ripping into the fans, called them keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
He said, you sent me the class clown to fight me at Saturday night's main event. Yeah, I thought this whole thing was done, and it ties into what Bottles said. He's 45. Okay, thank you very much. They're always on it. So here's my question. Rollins comes out, Bottles. Here you go. How do you want to tie it in?
Here's how I'm tying it in. You know what happened at the end of this show? Everyone knows what happened at the end of this show.
Yeah.
So it's not a big spoiler if I say Gunther had a rematch with Jey Uso and the Yeet Man is over. Well, he's over, but he's over the word.
Is it over? Yeah.
It's over. He's over for the word Yeet. That's why he's over. But he's really over now because he's no longer the champ. Gunther won that belt back. There's a guy who's been training. He's an old-time star from WCW. He made his bones in WCW.
Oh, man, I know.
You know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm going to say. Bill Goldberg is going to be on Raw next Monday.
Oh, is he?
He's going to be on Raw next Monday.
Okay.
And
he's definitely setting it up.
He's having problems doing cardio. His legs aren't moving like he wants them to. He's an old man now. He's thinking about wrestling in a shirt. That's how bad it is with him trying to get back in shape and do his thing. But I wouldn't be surprised if he challenges Gunther for the belt. Through shenanigans, he beats Gunther for the belt as a feel-good moment because Saturday night's main event is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. The next Saturday night main event.
Seth Rollins cashes in on his ass.
Seth Rollins cashes in on Bill Goldberg because Bill Goldberg got the belt. It's Atlanta. A feel-good moment for Bill, and all of a sudden, that music plays. Oh, all that bullshit plays.
I got to ask you something.
Out. What's that?
Do you want to see Bill Goldberg wrestle again? Because I don't. I don't give a shit.
No. And if he looks like he did with that clip I saw on Twitter of someone saw him in a 7-Eleven, they were standing behind him in line. And he started walking out. The guy goes, are you Bill Goldberg? Oh, can I get your autograph? You're fantastic. God bless you. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, good talking to you. Hey. He's trying to get out the door with his 12-pack of White Claw or whatever he had under his arm.
Milwaukee's best.
I think he could afford a
old style
with his money. But I think that's the route they're going to go. Bill Goldberg is going to beat Gunther through shenanigans somehow. I think Breaker and Bronson Reed are going to interfere.
All right, hold on. You're going way down the well. Going down the well
because I thought about this. Hold on. Those two guys have come out.
I like it.
They could interfere and cost Gunther the match, and Goldberg wins, and Seth Rollins cashes in on Goldberg, and then Gunther makes a comeback and tries to fight him off of Goldberg, even though he lost the belt to Goldberg, and there's a big scrum, and this is how you turn Gunther face.
Maybe. I don't want to see him face. I don't care. I don't need to see him face. I know you don't want to see Goldberg, correct? Let's just move past that real quick. I don't want to see him.
I don't, but I wholeheartedly agree that he's going to be at Saturday night's main.
He's going to be there. There's no way to
I didn't think about him winning and that being how Seth cashes it. I could see. I don't know. I think Seth will cash in no matter what happens because of Breaker and Reed getting involved and messing with
The
people or
chat
whatever.
just
but
called him Oldberg.
yeah, oh, he is.
Oldberg.
Yeah,
Of course.
I mean,
He's 60 for Christ's sake.
All right,
yeah, and he
moving
hasn't
on to
looked good
Monday
in a
Night
while.
Raw. Monday Night Raw. AJ Styles, Chad Gable. It's not going to disappoint. Chad Gable lost. It doesn't hurt him. He's a really good wrestler. Jake, you were there live.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Chad Gable. It wasn't Grande Americano. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I like it when he came out
Come
saying that he had just wrestled twice on Saturday. Like, it made a lot of sense. I will say, as when you're asking me if I enjoyed myself and it was worth it for me, I'll tell you, being an older fan and watching Punk and seeing his entire careers, after that moment when that whole segment ended, I was like, well, that shit right there was worth my $120. Like the rest.
There you go. Okay.
Like, as a fan, because they both entrances were great. You got to see them have a good face off. It was funny to see it as the reverse with Cena as the heel, but I mean, that was my 20s was them as wrestlers. So I loved it. It was great.
Jake, speaking of the live experience, what were the matches before the show? Were
There was a
dark
speed
matches?
match. There was a dark speed match.
Yeah, there was a speed match. I knew about that one.
Yeah, I didn't watch it because I was in line to get food because I literally decided last minute. Like I had to get a sandwich when I got in there because I had to eat something and I had a couple beers. I came in like literally as they were Dragon Lee was celebrating that win for the speed match. That was the only one.
You saw enough.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing because I was there for the show and I knew what I was getting in for. And then once I had that seat, I was like, oh shit, I'm right here. Like I got on TV for a second. It was great.
So here's the next part I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always have a match at the show. Yeah. So here's the next part I got to ask you about. Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane versus Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. There's two females in this match that I'm going to ask you like I did CM Punk. Rhea Ripley, when that music blares, are the fans losing their shit?
I put her entrance on. I did upload her video because of it. Like everybody, yes. And Liv Morgan,
so she's seriously over, right? It's not just they're
completely.
Because you see all the time. They're screaming the neckbeards like they're pumping in sound. It's set. You can't hear her music anymore. She's so over. The crowd's
watch
going
the people.
crazy.
Yeah, watch the crowds. That's the pumping in or not, because they might be turning up the volume or whatever. But everybody's standing, signs are in the air. I mean, from where I was in that corner there, I could see a ton of signs. I saw like 6 different mommy signs the moment she came out. Oh yeah, she's completely.
Is it
over.
deafening? Is it deafening?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Like the moment people start screaming, it feels like being at a concert. Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Okay.
We good?
Good. The other question I got is Liv Morgan, right? Yeah. Just it is what it is. Liv Morgan comes out. Are they booing the shit out of her, or is there cheers as well? Because it sounds like when that laugh hits, to me, you can see the crowd get visceral reactions about her, one way or the other.
Exactly. She's either she's either adored or hated, but she's never ignored. That's what she is.
Okay, that's awesome.
You know?
I mean, she's put herself in a box. Bottles and I have talked about it. She has made herself in the past year and a half one of the most over stars this company has right now, male or female.
Absolutely. She has made herself a superstar. And she had one of those moments where they like had her come out and then they went to commercial and she like did a victory lap around the ring. She came to every corner. She held up the belt. She like flirted with some of the crowd. She like gave shit to some of the crowd. She just figured this out. And that's cool to see.
Well, Perez won the match. Bottles, I don't mind that. Do you?
Not at all.
I thought it made a lot of sense with how she did it, how she stayed around and waited for the kind of stole the win.
I mean, that's what she did. She stole the win. It was an old school heel move. If you've been watching wrestling a long time, you really enjoyed this. The Becky Lynch promo was next. And I wanted to ask you about this. Bottles, first off, I've been praising her for weeks. I think she's this might be the best work Becky Lynch has ever done, in my opinion. Bottles, what do you think?
I think that's correct. You don't really have a lot of female heels on that roster right now. They let a few of them go. So,
right.
And Zoe Starks got hurt as she was a heel. So who do you got? You needed to turn somebody heel, and that was Becky Lynch. Because when you turn her heel, she's going to work with a young babyface who just started on the roster and elevate that person, which is what she did with Lyra Valkyria.
Yes,
she'll do it with the next person too, and the next person after that. She did it when
they got a lot coming up from NXT.
When she was a babyface, she went down to NXT, and she won the belt down there, didn't she? And she defended the belt down there. So she was she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. She wants to give back.
Couple things. The line of the night on this show, I don't care if it was male or female, was hers when she said, "What? No, you deserve it, Chance."
That was great.
Fucking killing the marks. She's killing the marks right now. She just punched you right in your nads. on
This is the
live
next thing
TV.
I was gonna say, Don. That was literally the next thing I was gonna say because it popped me in the audience. I just, yes, I thought that was great. Yeah, because she's a real heel as opposed to the big time Bex that was over the top and trying to be a famous whatever she was doing that just didn't work because it didn't connect. This is just her turned up to 11.
Lyra Valkyria came out. That was cool. We thought we were going to see a moment there. And then out of nowhere, Bailey returns. I don't know what it was like live on TV. It sounded like she got a pretty good response. Was it a good response? Were they happy to see her? Was it like
definitely? It was more the surprise. I feel like of like, oh shit, didn't expect that because I didn't expect that at all. You know, so it was definitely cool. But then the next surprise really took it over the top where it's like hard to even remember. Yeah.
Here we go. This was really hold on. Here we got Mark K in the house. Mark K with $5. Gold winning the title from Gunther. Don't you put that evil on me, Johnny Bottles.
Don't you do it. Don't you put that evil on me.
I think it's going to happen, pal. Sorry about that.
I do too.
Thanks for the 5
Mark
spot.
K.
I didn't until you said it, but now I do too.
Ron Killings comes out of the barriers, over the barricades, jumps up on the table, and proceeds to cut what I can only think it felt like a heel promo. Ron Killings had a heel promo and cut his fucking hair off.
And got a very loud holy shit from everyone in the that was like there's very few moments in life where you feel like you have one of those like you feel the crowd like the air leave the stadium or just like an example. I was at Coachella in 2012 when they had the Tupac hologram. I was there the first weekend where nobody knew there was going to be a Tupac hologram, and that thing came out and talked and moved, and it was like 11:30, so we were all pretty fucked up. And you felt like 20,000 people go. That was what that was when he starts cutting his hair for Ron Killings. There, I was standing there with my beard, just like what? What? It was awesome though. I'm glad I could say I was there when he cut that hair. I mean, how long is that?
I'm so glad you were there too. That's an all-time moment on Raw. That will be remembered for a long time.
Yeah. 100%.
Bottles, did you like the line? Our truth. The truth has set me free. I am Ron Killings. I am the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Now put some respect on my name.
It's all good for that package, for him being up there doing that, cutting off the dreads, which he's had for years. But let's see where it goes.
I agree. We got to see where it goes.
Patting him on the back and saying, "Great promo, Ron. Great work." Let's see what happens in the ring.
His flowers.
Give the man his flowers. Jesus Christ. You started.
Would you like to go on a date with me?
Let's go. Would you like some flowers?
I got chocolates. They're from the back door, Sally.
I'm wearing this nice boutonniere.
I got on some dreadlocks.
It's made of human hair.
I made my pubes into huge dreadlocks.
Well, what kind of road are we going down right now? Jesus,
Sami Zayn versus Penta versus Dominic Mysterio versus Braun Breaker. Let's get into this, okay? Braun Breaker's the future. No denying this. It is what it is. He feels like the next guy in line in the year two.
Sure.
He's going to be the guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Sami Zayn's heel turn, I feel like, is imminent. I think it's coming. He won this thing. Good for him. I don't know what it is about Sami Zayn. He's winning me over a little bit more every week.
Yeah, he's believable with what he's doing. I feel like that's what's good about. That was what worked with him with the bloodline initially. Like, and I think that's kind of what they've gotten away with, where like it's But Breaker, I feel like Breaker being teamed up with Paul Heyman is the greatest thing for his career. Like if he wasn't going to be a future like 10-time WrestleMania main eventer, he will now with Paul in his ear. Like, oh, it's beautiful.
The only one's being hurt by this whole arrangement is Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed was on a roll before he broke his leg.
Yeah,
I don't.
He's come
here's
back.
The thing.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Why do you think he's being held back though? He's in the biggest faction of the company right now.
Because Heyman's there. That's why it's the biggest faction of the company. Because Heyman's there. Well,
no,
you can say that. He's got the gravitas. He's got the gravitas. Yes, he does.
Okay.
He's got the gravitas. But when I see them come out in the black suits and the sunglasses, him and Breaker, it reminds me of the chicks that follow Chelsea Green around. That's what it reminds me of. Okay. They need to get away from the sunglasses and the black suits or the navy blue suits. It's starting to look like Chelsea Green's entourage following Seth Rollins around. And if they could, Seth Rollins is the guy who needs to wear the black suit. don't wear the fancy ass outfits anymore.
Oh no, he's going to wear Prince's outfits. He has decided that's his look.
He's tripled down on that one.
Dude, he is coming out like Prince. It's too late now. This is
Put them all in those outfits. Put them all in those outfits. I want to see Paul Heyman in plaid.
Reed. The thing I like about Bronson Reed in the group is it lets Breakker not have to be the muscle. Like everyone's comparing this to Evolution.
Right.
Yeah, and that's why, like, because everyone was like, "Oh, Breaker's the Batista." I'm like, no, he's the damn Randy Orton. He's a second generation talent. He's got the whole package, and so like, whatever happens with Reed, it's like, at least for me, I like him as being the muscle in the group, and he's kind of like a hired mercenary, you know. So it'll be interesting what happens. I feel like eventually he might break out of that group probably, and they'll bring somebody else in with it or something. But I at least like that Breakker gets to kind of be the star, the guy in the group, as opposed to just hired muscle.
Larry gave us
dressed
$5
just like Becky, and Becky dressed like Seth.
It's not right. That's got to be confusing for their
and
daughter.
Randy is
She's
third
just getting old
generation,
enough to be like, yeah. I feel like that's what she's just very curious. Like, yeah, my bad, Mark. I did mean that with Randy. I always considered Randy to be like the first real third generation because Rock kind of was, but
Rock really was. No, he was the first third generation.
Right, but he's great. Yeah, it just didn't go through the generations because it goes grandfather and dad. But I mean, yeah, Randy. But I feel like that's what Breakers gets to take out of this group is he gets to be the Randy Orton out of it, where he's the total package.
I would have
Randy Orton had an uncle.
Possible.
Randy Orton had an uncle.
Yeah,
he had an uncle that was big in the WWE. Who was that?
I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I've read about him.
Barry O.
That's it.
Barry Orton.
Oh,
he was the good-looking member of the Orton Boys. That someone who was backstage and in power in WWE at the time drove him out of the company because that guy wanted a piece of Barry O. That's what Barry O said in several shoot interviews. I'm not going to say.
I'm going to talk about this, but I'm not going to cover this in depth. Nikki Bella made her return. This was Liv Morgan's third segment of the show, which tells you how over Liv Morgan is, that she's involved in a match and she's involved in a segment later on. I don't give a shit if you don't like her or not. She's over, man.
How much confidence they have in her.
Yes.
And that was a hell of a promo.
Rhea Ripley. It could have been Rhea Ripley up there, but they chose Liv Morgan to do it.
And she cut a hell of an impassioned promo. I thought that was really good for her.
She did.
And Nikki Bella, like, I mean, I know she's a local girl. Technically, she's from Scottsdale, though. Like, I knew she was coming out. I went to go hit the bathroom and grab a beer for that one. But
that's a good move for that.
Yeah, I thought so. Although I did hear, like, coming back to my seat where she called her Stephanie Vacay. That was pretty rough.
She's awful. She's just awful.
Just terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, I've never been into
I'm not gonna rag on her. Like, I don't want her back. I don't think this should have happened. I don't know what the fuck that was. I'm not gonna get into this because there's just too much into on the world heavyweight title match.
Agreed.
Jey Uso's I'm not gonna dwell on Nikki Bella. I'm sorry. I'm not giving her time of day. I want to cover.
She needs the money, pal. She needs the money.
It's like crabs. You want to wash it out of your system. World Heavyweight Championship, Jey Uso versus Gunther. So I got to ask you this, and I don't want to go too in depth with it. Gunther, people shit on him all the time that don't watch wrestling or that barely watch wrestling. He is one of my favorite wrestlers of the past probably 10 years. I believe everything this guy does. Yes. I believe he's one of the ultimate heels of the past generation. When he comes out, are they booing the shit out of him right away?
Most of there is a good percentage of people that definitely are. I feel like a lot of the younger kids don't really get it because they're just too young to understand. I was in a crowd that there was kids in front of us. The guys around me, there was a big group of guys that were cheering him because they were like the older crowd that likes that are team no Yeet. But oh yeah, no, he's getting instant reactions when that music hits and before he even walks out, he's absolutely over. I completely agree with you. For like you boo him as part of the character because you know you're supposed to because he's the bad guy.
I would cheer his ass. I would cheer the. There was
shit a big. You would have been with the guys that were one section over and behind me. Those dudes were all into it.
Yeah, I'd have cheered the shit out of him. Yeet Man comes out. I've seen the crowd. It's a really good time. It looks like they're having fun, and then that damn bell has to ring.
I get you. I do. I understand it. The one thing I will say is I noticed, because I told you guys I was at the SmackDown on January 3rd. I noticed it walking to my seat that night that everybody under the age of 25, at least it seemed like everybody under the age of 25 had at least one piece of Yeet merchandise. Everybody 15 and younger had 2. And I feel like everybody 10 and younger had all 3: the glasses, the hat, the shirt.
Okay.
Like so I understood it then. And then I watched him do the entrance from the crowd, and I'm not that into it. I'm, like I said, going to be 43 next week. It's not for me, but I got it. I fully understood it. And it is fun to watch that entrance. It's cool. But I understand when the bell rings, it's not as. I did think the match on Raw was one of his better matches. I feel like he was
but
harder,
look who he's in the ring with. I'm glad
exactly.
You said that. That's what I was going to say. He's in the ring with Gunther. I have never seen Gunther have a bad match.
No,
the
never.
guy did. Go ahead, Bottles. Go ahead, Bottles.
Get your shit in, he can't have a bad match. He can't have a bad match. How can he?
Everything he does looks real. It's stiff. It looks like it would hurt.
Of course it does.
And even when he does have to lose, like when he had the match against Dragunov in NXT before he came up, or when he lost it, like he loses in a believable way with him. Like it makes sense. Like everything he does, you're like, yeah. I always say that's my biggest problem with AEW, because they don't sell. So why the hell should I buy? Gunther, everything he does, I'm buying. Like, yep, that's it. Yep, 100%.
The numbers for Netflix. What did they fall down from? I know you follow this, Don.
2.7, 2.6 million. They've lost 300,000 views per week on average since he won the title. And that's a tenth of their audience said, I'm not watching this shit. I'm sorry.
So I would say they made the change because they had to make a change. That's what I would
felt like he's the guy that should always be fighting from underneath. He's not the guy. It's like Ricky Steamboat, right? You wanted Ricky Steamboat to win, and then when he finally got it, I was like, God, this kind of fucking sucks now.
Kind of bland. Kind of bland. It's
no.
the chase. It's like Cody Rhodes. Yeah. It's like Cody Rhodes without a belt. The chase to get the belt for Cody Rhodes is everything.
We'll disagree on this one.
I'm with you, Don, on that one. And at least with Cody, it solidified him. He needed that year-long title reign to the. And that's kind of what Jay winning it solidifies. So he'll always be a former world champion. But yeah, it just didn't. He's great at the chase. He's a great underdog, and that's why I'll be interested to see where they go with him here. Like,
that's what I was going to ask you.
So, Continental champion, but
as the end of this match,
I don't have enough beer in that fridge to deal with you two guys when it comes to
Cody Rhodes. Get over your haterade.
Fair enough.
It's okay.
Here's my question. I'm all for all sides. I'm here to listen to everybody.
The ending of this match really felt old school. I enjoyed it. The multiple reversals of the sleeper holds with Jay finally getting put to sleep in the middle of the ring. It's the one thing he's always struggled against. The crowd, when I was watching this, the stunned silence said it all. The crowd was like, oh shit, this really just happened.
Yes.
No way this just happened.
Yeah, and that's a good thing.
It was great. I loved it because I especially like I'm glad you pointed out all the reversals, Don, because I was thinking like, oh, this is how Jay's going to eke this win out, and Seth's going to come right out right now and cash it in on him. It would have made so much sense. And then so when Gunther turns and he wins, it's like, oh shit. Well, Seth ain't coming out now. I wouldn't. So it's like, because it was a great swerve, bro, that actually worked. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen moving forward. And now think Johnny's probably dead ass right with Mr. Oldberg, but we'll see.
Oh, you all right?
I'm good. Okay. I said Mr. Old. I said it, but my Oldberg line was the ending of it. I just didn't want
to. Okay. No, I thought the crowd's reaction said it all. When the crowd goes silent, you know you've just done something no one was expecting, no one saw coming, and everybody was like, "Yo,
that's it.
He fucking won!"
And like right after he did it, I looked down and they were like setting up the pyro for the fireworks, and it's like, oh no, this is it. That's the end of the show. So it was surprising. It was cool though, because it wasn't what everybody thought was going to happen. Because I feel like everybody thought Seth was going to take it from there. So
I look, I've been saying this for weeks. Bottles, you agree? Raw and SmackDown right now feel like two completely separate entities of shows. And I'm going to go on record and say this again and again and again. I truly believe WWE regrets keeping SmackDown on cable and not moving it to a streaming platform, because the numbers every week show the cord cutting is not decreased. It's not, decreasing. It's increasing vastly faster than anybody thought it would.
Yep.
And I feel like if they had to do this shit again, they'd be like, we're taking that show to Amazon. We're taking this one to Netflix. We'll see y'all in 10 years.
Well, define cord cutting.
They're cutting cable.
Right, but they're going with internet packages where you can
they're
watch.
going with internet streaming packages. A lot of people are getting away from YouTube now.
The YouTube TV. They've got Xfinity Stream. They've got Slingbox. CP the Trucker, $2. It was like Taker losing the Barack. Almost. Yeah, in that same vein. In that same vein.
Where everybody looked around like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Not quite as big of that, but it was the same kind of moment. And another thing, I was like, well, I'm glad I was here for that because that was a fucking surprise.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, oh,
shoot, I almost didn't come to the show. Can you believe this shit?
If I saw that on TV and that happened, I'd be like, well, I would have got to see a title match that changed life, mother. No, I was real glad I went after that moment.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Now it's come to the point in the show where I'm so glad we had you there to talk about this, but now we have to talk about some bullshit that is known as
some bullshit.
AEW.
Oh, God.
Did you watch it last night, Jake?
Like I said, I put it on. I had it on my TV and I tried, but a lot of times I didn't watch it much after the second hour. And I didn't watch it closely because, like I said, when I saw Osprey and
thank you again, CP the Trucker.
Yeah, super chats are great. No, the Osprey and Strickland, like they could be great. They could do so well, but they just, like I said, they don't sell. So I don't buy.
Hold on. Alt, I need you to give out your handle where they can reach you at, where they can watch
your
shows. All Jake has had us on his shows, me and Bottle separately. Really enjoyable guy, really calm guy, good to talk to, really enjoyed the moment. So where can they all find you at?
Yeah. So either at X, either on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, or here on YouTube with at Alt Jake Takes On. It's me and my buddy George Capture. We're trying to be more of like conversationalists. That's what I was saying. I don't have to agree with everybody's statements. I'm here to listen to other people of it, talk about it, make fun, have some jokes. I kind of feel like we're kind of becoming like Dick Cavett. Like we want to, like everybody else is like a little crazier or trying to be too funny. We're more just like conversationalists. We want to be like the Dick Cavett of the wrestling space is kind of what I look at it as.
We appreciate you coming on tonight. There were 3,354 tickets distributed to the show last night in Portland, Oregon for June 11th. The building holds 6,500. So they're still doing about half of what you would think. That's not terrible, but some guy put a picture out there trying to flex on the amount of people there. And I was like, dude, you have got to go out and either get laid or touch grass. Take your pick. But that's not a lot of people. More people go to the local drag shows on the weekends. You need to get out more, son. You clearly haven't seen a vagina. You were cesarean and you've never seen one. Go do something else with life. This show started the way they all do, either with shitty microphone work or shitty matches. This had two. Hangman comes in with Christopher Daniels. And the shitty sound, it sounded like they were in a Lamborghini fucking wind tunnel. This shit was awful. Bottles, we've talked about this
they can't
month
get this
after
fixed.
month.
They can't get it fixed after all these days, all these weeks, all these episodes of Collision and Dynamite. They cannot get the backstage sound fixed because they've hired people from the Hollywood Upstairs Production Studio School. That's what they have. Have you ever watched... If you ever watched Simpsons, Dr. Nick.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Hollywood Upstairs Medical College.
Yes, that's who they have.
Mike from 8th grade drama classes. They're recording it right now.
Yeah. They're all
Tony,
buddies.
should I have the boob up for? I don't know. Tony.
Tony hires the people
Tony?
that are nice to him. He hires the people that are nice to him. That's why you have the problems with the music or with the other legal issues. Or what was it? Luchasaurus's mask issue they had a couple years ago where the people that made it are like, yeah, we weren't paid for that. That shouldn't be on their toys. And just amateur hour. That's all I could think.
It's just a proliferation of people working for him that kiss his ass on a daily basis and tongue that bag. And they just so that they could still be grossly overpaid in whatever position they have backstage and on camera. That's what this company is comprised of. And this is what you got. This is what you got.
It shows. The quality shows. It sounds like ass. And then Moxley is, of course, hiding. He's lurking in the background. They don't see me over here. I'm hiding by the staircase. And then out of nowhere, here comes his entire faction walking up behind. They're going to come get the cowboy. Oh no, the cowboy's in danger. Eat my ass. It's the same shit with this group for 8 months now. No one gives a shit. And then we get Billy Ocean Spray out here against
Billy
Swerve.
Ocean Spray, yes.
Again. We're getting Billy Ocean Spray again. We
Opening
get
the
him
show.
every week. We've asked this time and time again. How many times do you see CM Punk wrestle on Raw? Rarely ever. You want to know why? Because he's a star and they treat him as such. You're going to have to come to the PLEs to see him. This fucking dude, he wants to be a star, dress like a star, act like a star, demand to be treated like a star.
Could you see Billy Ocean Spray cutting a 20-minute promo in front of Kenny Omega or Samoa Joe? Could you see that?
Oh, God.
I don't need him to, though. I don't need him to. That's the whole thing. Not everybody was meant to give me a 20-minute promo, and he's not one of them. Give me one like Braun Breaker does right now, where it's 2 minutes and I'm out because I'm going to kick your ass.
Right.
Like, that's what he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Get out of my ring and back to the UK.
The Ashen Chevalier says Tony likes the guys that unzip his pants the best.
Oh.
Well, sometimes they use the teeth and sometimes use the fingers. I like it when they. I'm not going to say.
Thank you, Ashen Chevalier.
Team
Warrior
Licker.
JWR, the
pros.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, me and Warrior are on the same page, buddy.
That's
it.
Awesome.
That's
it.
That's what they are, though. They're like the worst possible yes men. They don't even try to help. They just whatever you want, Tony, we'll do it. Yeah, and Tony thinks he knows all. He's gonna write.
Do you want to know
TV,
why
really.
this show got 595,000? It wasn't because of the NBA Finals. It's because this show starts off the same way every week, and it's the same formula that made Vince McMahon boring. It was the same shit every week, where you didn't know where it was going to go. This is unfathomable. Thank you again, Warrior.
It's like back in the days of Vince, like they're writing the show as they go along. Does it feel that way for you?
100%. Like there's no continuity.
I wish it felt like that. I wish.
You wish they put more thought into it, like Vince did.
Yes.
Have a production meeting.
They don't have production meetings.
I know, and they do the same things.
Have
in the
a meeting. Have a fucking meeting. Let's sit around and talk about this. So this thing goes on forever. Swerve catches Billy Ocean Spray with a live round and breaks his nose open, like right away in the match, because fuck you, you owe me transfer, I guess. This got out of hand fast. Billy Ocean Spray started throwing live rounds like within the next 10 seconds. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear how quiet the crowd was?
Deathly
quiet. Like, why are two of our favorite guys who are baby faces fighting each other? We love these guys. We don't want to see them fight each other. We want to see them fight against Moxley's crew.
I wrote this down.
I was just here. Anybody else? Yeah.
I said they're going move for move, and Taz with 1Z, not 2, literally said it as I was writing it down. It's just move and move and move. There's no story being told.
None.
It's just, let me get my shit in. And the worst part of the match was in the first couple of minutes when they traded all those moves and stared lovingly at each other like they were the Titanic, and then kip up together.
I swear when that happened,
kip up together.
I thought they were going to, the Uptown Funk thing was going to happen from that video that they went viral a couple years ago, where they're going to do that. They only did the dance moves, but they instead of choreographed wrestling moves, they did choreographed dance moves. It looks the exact same though. You can't tell the fucking difference.
It was horrendous.
It was horrible.
And
it was one of the
then
worst
we get the same shit Billy Ocean Spray's been doing for the longest time. Should I do the Tiger Driver 98, bruv? Should I do it or not? I'm so I don't know if I'm going to do it. Oh, shit, my arm hurts. It was overdrawn, overbooked, overworked. None of this shit made any sense. And then the bell rang because guess what? Oh, there's a time limit draw that nobody mentioned before this fucking thing started.
You figured if it was a thing, the announcers would have mentioned it over and over and over.
Especially once they got to like 15 minutes.
Right. The half hour it took for this freaking match. They still have it. Why would you have a pay-per-view worthy match to open your show on a regular Wednesday night unless you want to go and hot shot booking this show to try to get the ratings to boost up. That's what they tried to do. It's not working, guys. Tony, whatever you think you're doing, it's not working at all. Do the opposite.
He thinks every match needs to be Steamboat and Savage from WrestleMania 3 and have a million
He
kickouts
does,
and go
man.
30 minutes. And
He really does.
That match is on a pedestal for a reason, because you didn't do it every fucking week.
No, I got Jake the Snake DDTing somebody at WrestleMania 3 inside of like 8 minutes. That's all it needed.
Yeah, no, and now they do literally like 17 DDTs in every match.
Yeah, because they've ruined that. So then Strickland goes, I want some overtime. And Billy Ocean Spray says, bruv, but my shoulder. And here comes the Cracker Clan out of nowhere, right on time, every week, same shit, different show, exactly. And then it gets worse because the Bucks go, no, we're here to help you while we change our fucking shoes out real quick.
Oh.
And the whole time I look at my son who's looking at me and I said, is Billy Ocean Spray? Did they beat him up on the way to the ring and we missed it? Like, where's Billy Ocean Spray in all this? And then it happens as they go to kick Swerve Strickland in the face with their thumbtack shoes. Billy Ocean Spray says, no, bruv, I want them to do the finisher on me. Just horrendous shit. Horrendous.
Horrible.
I've seen pornos in the 90s with better plot twists than this shit. The cable guy actually fixed the cable in one.
We don't have
something wrong with Steiner Carbon.
We don't have the actual quarter hours. But do you think this is done? Do you think the appearance of the Young Bucks, who are known ratings killers, actually derail any kind of growth? Viewer growth?
The Young Bucks and the death ratings at the same time. Like both of those.
At the same time.
Oh, you just want to kill your ratings.
It's like say it to your wife, Jake. Honey, this sandwich you made me taste like shit. Can you put a little more shit on top of this for me, please?
I don't know what happened, bruv. I just got kicked in the face with thumbtacks. It was
enough
awful.
shit. It's not enough shit on my rye bread. It's garbage.
These are their stories.
This whole thing and then it gets better, but it gets worse. Renee Bag gets in the back with Okada, and Don Callis and his heavy petting group shows up, and Okada says, bitch, and leaves.
Oh, God. Heavy petting, Don Callis. Jesus. That's dead on, though. Oh.
This thing
that ever-changing group, too. Who's in it, who's not?
Who's in it, the HPC. That's it, Don Callis and the HPC. What's that stand for? The Heavy Petting Club.
This sucked, dude. This was so awful.
Oh, of course it was. It's AEW.
But you know, I still every time like it's gonna be that bad. Like, is it really gonna be that bad? No, the crickets were perfect. Like, that's it. Is it gonna be that bad? Yes. Yes, it fucking is.
By the way, if you like what you're hearing, please like and subscribe, hit the notifications chip. The heavy
Even
petting.
if you don't like it, hit like, subscribe,
petting.
share. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
The Hurt People come out and beat someone up that I didn't know who it was. It was Bandito, it turns out, was it not?
They beat up Bandito backstage. Bandito
because he was legitimately hurt.
He was doing a show down in
he always
Mexico. Imagine
hurt?
that this weekend. Yes, he was doing the rope walk where he runs across the ropes. I'm talking about not the Undertaker thing where a guy's holding him up like this. He runs the ropes like a tightrope walker. And he was going to do the old flop on top of the guys outside the ring. And he slipped off the rope and almost landed on his head. And I think Ultimo Guerrero was one of the guys he was up against. That guy
Ultimo Bandito Guerrero.
Yes.
Junior.
Yes. Yes. Where is it?
Arriba!
That guy caught him to keep him from breaking his neck. But he did fall and hurt himself. He landed on his head. So I believe he's got a concussion. And that's what the deal with Bandito is.
This is the guy who made his return at the had the video packages on Dynamite and then
I got
you on ROH and got himself hurt. D's good people.
Bottles, I told you there was a lot of empty seats because you tell it was so dark on TV. Her and I were talking earlier, Denisha and I were.
And she has given us a lot of money, so she's definitely
talking to her
awesome.
earlier. I was talking to her earlier on Twitter, and I said it was very, very dark the way they shot it. Put that back up. I was trying to read it.
Oh, sorry. I thought you finished.
The hell? Bottles, I
Won't you
told you it was
calm
all
down,
empty
sugar
seats
tits?
because you told it was so dark on TV to show to hide the seats. Exactly.
Yeah.
Don, please
Yeah.
show my comment. And we did, Denisha. We did. You're exactly right.
Because
Dead
you are a
on.
longtime subscriber and you have more than paid your dues for some comments here and there. Here
Yeah,
we go.
That's why my Raw review, I put the picture that I put up because the WWE makes sure to light the entire crowd so you could see there isn't an empty seat or an empty section. Yeah.
This
can
show
see-
got worse, and I'm telling you right now, I hope you've got some notes because I got the fuck out of here real quick. Mystico is in the ring versus the most cracker name I've ever heard in my life, Blake Christian. I have never heard.
Ring of Honor. He's from
Dude.
Ring of Honor.
Of course.
Did somebody said I need to hear the Ritz name for a wrestler? They were like, Blake Christian. It doesn't get any more paler than that, pal.
That's it. You know, that's a white guy coming at you.
Good
Blake
God.
Christian. Glenn Taylor for 5 bones. Don Callis, the heavy petting. The heavy petting club.
Name's so white it's translucent.
Conan!
Dude, for real.
Conan!
Conan.
Blake. No one yells Blake. No one.
Yeah.
No one cares about Blake Christian at all. Nobody
You know who they
does.
care about, don't you? Is his
Who do they
sister.
care about?
Sister Christian.
Christian. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
can't
this is
remember
the
all the
best part.
lyrics.
This
I'd
is the-
love to.
This doesn't matter.
Motorhead. What's your price for flight?
Dun, 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 dun,
Drama.
dun.
Finding Mr. Right.
I dropped my hot pocket.
You'll be
See, now I just want to go play GTA Vice City, though. Like, that song always was my jam in Vice City.
Oh my God. That's the I'll
shit.
never forget when I saw those guys. They opened for somebody back in the day, and the drummer was singing this song. I'm going, what the hell's it? Who's singing this? And it was the effing drummer.
Who are you,
It sang
Genesis?
the biggest hit. Huh?
right.
I said, who are you, Genesis? The drummer singing?
The drummers, yeah. The
Yeah,
drummer
I
had
thought-
the
It gets better because
Go
Timu
ahead,
Ray
what you got?
Mysterio wins and the Hurt People come out and MJF starts mouthing off to Timu Ray. And I was like, dude, really? This is the guy that we're gonna have? This is what we're fucking doing. This is the angle.
they're
Apparently.
putting their top stars in angles with people that no one care about.
No one gives a shit.
Well, is this
Mystico.
for that Grand Slam Mexico show? Like, that's gonna be the match.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
He's
fuck,
gonna
yes.
fight Mystico in the Grand Slam Mexico show,
Boom,
which
boom,
is next
dum,
week.
burn.
It's right. His claim to fame is he was Sin Cara in
Thank you,
WWE,
Glenn.
and
Which
he got
one?
fired. He was the first one.
Oh God.
He was
Which
the
is what
first one.
he alluded to. He called him Sin Cara in the ring.
He wrestled Alberto Del Rio and broke his finger, supposedly. He said he couldn't continue with the match because he broke his finger. And Alberto Del Rio said, fuck that, on live TV, and ran out of the ring and threw him back in the ring and did a piece of business with him and pinned him because he wanted a concrete ending to the match. And he hated Mystico in real life. So that's what you got with
I
that
want it
guy.
to be known that I hate everything about what happened in this match in real life.
It was horrendous. It wasn't a match, really. It was just
Do you want to know
a
why?
piece of business
Well, no,
they
this
did.
is it led to a piece of business because in comes the fucking Karate Kid and his group of idiots. The virgin spree was on, and here come all the non-sexual
Virgin
deviants
spree.
running to the ring.
Sexual
None of them.
deviants running to the ring.
No, the non-sexual deviants. I
Although
like that.
non-sexual, yes.
Non-sexual.
Yes,
That's it. No, that's dead on. That's yeah.
And I said, I don't want to watch this shit. And I come back and apparently Mystico or somebody pinned MJ. I don't give a shit what happened. None of this mattered. And I said, I'm going to give this show another 10 minutes. And out comes Hangman.
Do you
And
know-
he's being
Hang on a
Go
second.
ahead.
Hang on a second. When this all went on, I know you didn't watch it. They had MJF's American flag up, and they shot streamers in the air, red, white, and blue streamers that buried the entire ring.
yes. And I
So
said, it
what
looks
they-
like a bad 80s gimmick.
And that's the kind of shit they do in Mexico. They shoot off these streamers in Japan too. But what happens is they go to a commercial normally, and then the guys come
And
out
they
and clean
clear it
the
out.
ring.
Yeah.
This was happening in real time. They were cleaning the ring out while the Hurt People are like outside the ring. We can't get in there with all that shit going on. And the guys in black, the stagehands, were like furiously trying to
Grabbing
pull
the
these
shit.
streamers
Okay.
off the ring.
Trying to do their damn job.
Yes. Then it was
I
a big
heard
pile
that
in
he
the
got hit
middle.
with another copyright on this, though.
What was that?
They said Peter North is going to sue. That's his gimmick. shooting streets everywhere.
Boogie
Yes.
Nights and Peter North. All right, it's a
We
fun
are
time.
deep in the in the cups right
We are
now.
somewhere. We
Deep,
are somewhere.
Deep.
No, this is another one when you need a production. You know what would have solved this problem? A fucking production meeting. Oh, let's put a commercial in right here. Jesus ass. Mother. I just don't
Hangman
understand.
comes out when this thing is over with. He's all taped up like a S&M gimmick. I don't know what the hell's going on.
He got
Samoa Joe
waylaid
comes out.
by those guys.
I know, but Samoa Joe comes out with his group. And by the way, once again, there's no Hook. Don't tell me Hook wasn't concussed. Don't tell me he had food poisoning. He got fucked up in that match. You hit him with the chair after he puked because you're the most unprofessional, unsafe bunch of assholes in history. And I turned it off, but I at least watched the Kenny Omega bullshit when this whole thing came down to the end. I saw it on X, thank God, because I wasn't watching this shit anymore. Because, by the way, this is the only thing worth covering for the rest of this shit show, which is why you had less than 600,000 people tuning in. You broke out a new belt to combine two belts called the, I don't even know what the fuck was it called again?
It's just the Unified Championship. Unified what?
The Unified Dildo Championship. Somewhere across the nation, dildo bag and celebrated. Kenny Omega took an elbow on a stretcher to where he then puked up blood a la Ultimate Warrior circa Papa Shango 1992. This whole thing reeked of garbage. I'm so glad I tuned this out. For anybody that watched the end of this nonsensical bullshit hallelujah moment, you teen curtain jerking shit up in the bedroom. Nobody gives a damn. Your mother disowned you. This is ass.
I was watching dinner with my wife when this happened. I was eating dinner with my wife, watching TV with her because I'd given up. My Twitter exploded with people tagging me like, "Have you seen this? What do you think of this? This is terrible. Oh my God." Because it looks almost like the original women's title, just like bigger. Like that's what the way it's designed. Yeah, it's terrible. It's hideous. It's one of the dumbest things. For a belt mark, he has no taste in good belt designs.
No.
This was not a good one. I like the AEW championship because it's literally the exact same championship that Mid-South had at the end. He almost copied it verbatim. I don't mind it. The TNT title, I'm not a big fan of that one. The TBS title, I'm not a big fan of that one. The other, that's it. The other two titles suck ass too. So what am I talking about here?
Well, and the one that you like has been in the briefcase for 6 months.
Nobody's seen the fucking thing.
I still think he lost it in I still think Moxley lost it in a jiu-jitsu tournament to a Home Depot clerk. And there's a guy at Home Depot in Idaho or Ohio. I mean, with that's his work.
Walking around on aisle 8. Bitch, do you want to know where the screws are?
Yeah, you know where the screws are. Go down aisle 8 and see the guy named Stosh. He's got this big gold belt on. Just go down there and see him.
Pipe is. Exactly.
Stands right out.
Yeah.
At this point, TK investing in a 1987 Suzuki Samurai is a better investment than $5 million a year on Okada. You got that right,
lying. You ain't lying.
Okada.
At least you could put 35s on a Suzuki.
Although,
even a smartest guy at this point would be better.
The smartest guy in professional wrestling is Kazuchika Okada.
No, dude, he is the smartest guy. He's like, bitch, pay me. I'll show up. I'll show up, say bitch, not learn the language, and leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want me to
him at all?
If he goes to WWE, if he goes to WWE, he's got to learn one word.
No, stop.
No,
stop. This was a show that I bailed at the hour mark and said I'm not coming back. It was a devolving piece of shit. It is an abortion of a show that I hope they never talk about again. Tony, you've got to do something, pal. I want to like your product. Why do you think I tune in every week? I want to watch your show get better. And it's like a poor kid in a trailer park every Christmas. You fucking disappoint me. Every year.
Every year. All the time.
Every week. No, because from day one, they have been focused on fighting with WWE, being in a war,
right.
If they would just focused on their own house and on their own shit and putting on a good show, maybe by now it actually would be competition. But no, from day one, he wanted to write it. I'm in charge because I know everything, and I'm going to hire all my buddies to be yes men and lick my taint. It's terrible. And it's never going to get better. As long as Tony is the quote unquote booker, it'll never get better. I've given up on it. I try, but it just won't.
He's getting gassed by Dave Meltzer, who's telling him he's doing everything right. And all he sees, he's muted everybody on Twitter that says anything negative. He doesn't want any criticism. He can't handle it. This Cracker Clan should have been killed within 2 months. It should have been done off. We should have never seen it again. It should have been aborted like a 70s baby.
Like a 70s baby. Jesus Christ.
With the clothes hanger?
Good Lord.
My bad.
Oh, God, Bottles.
Come on now. Good Lord Almighty.
By the way, like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe our abortion wrestling show.
We are the degenerates.
I can only imagine Kyle, a man named Kyle, saying, what are they saying? What are they saying about AEW so wrong?
Oh, you know,
by the way, WWE, they're Fed lickers. They're Fed lickers.
I'm not gonna,
WWE.
You brought his name. I'm just going to say this. I've got a guy that stalks me on Twitter and on this show like you wouldn't believe. He is so butthurt. Every time we mention something bad about AEW, you would think this fucking guy's entire family living depended on this. Kyle, get a fucking job. Do something with yourself, son. By the way, Jake, one more time. It's time to go home. Where can they find you at? I want to thank you for showing up. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had some laughs.
I had a fantastic time. I want to thank you both for coming on our Sunday Night Spaces show, which is 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Twitter, usually through my account at AltJakeTakesOn, either through X. I then post them onto the YouTube, so follow me either place, subscribe, like, share with your friends. Yeah, we're slowly building it. We're slowly building up a following. We've really only been doing this since the end of February, and literally, I kind of fell into this because I was randomly joining Phil for PWT shows, and people are like, "You should do your own stuff." All right, shit, I'll try it. Why not? It's fun. Yeah. So, and that's the thing is we're not trying to be anything gimmicks. We're not trying to, be only WWE people or AEW. We'll talk about anything. I mean, as both of you know on the show, we've end up talking about random movies that have been made by other people or random music. That's the point of the Spaces show. It's really just a conversation that can go anywhere. And that's what I love. So thank you both for coming on it. We'll have you guys on again at some point for sure. I really appreciate you bringing me on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no. Glad to have you. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Please like and subscribe. And I know one guy that loved this show tonight.
Who was it?
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.